Ghalibaf. Here's somebody who's chanting in favor of Ghalibaf. You guys, I'm showing you. See, I showed you videos. By the way, Kaveh found me all of these videos. So thank you, Kaveh. I appreciate your work, right? Thank you. He goes in and does all of this research and brings me all of these videos. By the way, Kaveh, next time come earlier so that we could connect your channel so that we stream on your live. We should start earlier next time so we could arrange streaming on your channel at the same time whenever you're over here. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no more. And then I will also, promote your channel, your English channel, and everything once we do that. All right. So what do we have here? Okay. So here, this is so guys. The videos that Kaveh has found me, some of them show regime, pro-regime people against Ghalibaf and the negotiating team. Some of them are against it, which shows there is a huge division. So this guy is now trying to defend Ghalibaf. Let's see how he defends Ghalibaf. Wow, so this is a chant in favor of Ghalibaf, saying Haj Baqir Nuqte Zan Zadi to Gush Dushman. Which, how do you translate this? Which means like Haj Baqir is basically Ghalibaf. It's Baqir Ghalibaf. Baqir is his first name. So he's saying Ghalibaf, you hit our enemy precisely. Like Nuqte Zan, how do you translate Nuqte Zan to English, Kaveh? Do you have a word for it?
Precise shot. I think it would be
precise.
This
shot. This is a word that they use for missiles, but he's now using. Anyways, let me just make it more simple. He's basically saying "Good job, Ghalibaf." He's doing a chant saying "Good job, Ghalibaf," and people are chanting. So he's saying, Ghalibaf, you slapped Vodkov. Like you hit Vodkov hard in the face. You know what he means by Vodkov? He means Witkov. He's mispronouncing it. He's saying he's making Witkov sound like vodka. You see, like the crowd pronounces it like he does. Like he mispronounces Witkov, and the crowd just repeats it exactly like he says it. Vodka. Vodka means Witkov. So he's saying they're negotiating delegations. You deserve recognition. You deserve praise. Oh, like negotiating delegation. You deserve praise. That's the chant. So he's defending Ghalibaf and the negotiating team. Basically, the people who are the. I think this is like this guy's paid by Ghalibaf or something. Oh, he's saying the political jihadis. Mujahid is like a jihadi person. So he's saying political jihadis, you deserve praise. So the reason why he's saying that is because the anti-deal people, the anti-negotiation people consider the IRGC fighters in the battlefield to be mujahids, to be jihadis, right? But he's saying like, no, the politicians are jihadi too. The politicians are doing jihad as well. You deserve praise as well. The politicians, yay! Not just our armed forces at the battlefield. Praise to the politicians. That's what he's saying. Anyways, the rest is not important. I think President Trump just had a truce post. People were saying, oh, yep, 25 minutes ago. Let's look at this. And by the way, Kaveh, after we read this, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna bring Grease Monkey up. Okay. After let's just review this with each other. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's just review this with each other, and then after that, we'll talk more about our collab after this. Okay. because I had a miscommunication with Grease Monkey, so I just want to make sure I also bring him up today. Okay, so Donald Trump just posted this 25 minutes ago, saying the Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4. Oh my God, we're getting a response. The Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4 one-way attack drones at ships transversing. Is that the right word? The Strait of Hormuz. One of the drones solidly hit the upper deck of a large and very expensive cargo carrying ship. Damage was done, but the ship was able to proceed on its way. We knocked down 3 other drones. Obviously, this is a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement. President Donald J. Trump. Okay, but he's not saying there's going to be any response. So this is a confirmation that this is a violation. Are we gonna see any like usually he promises something big in response, but now we have an acknowledgement that this was a violation, but no promise of a response. What is your take on this, Kaveh?
If he promised to do something, I won't count on that. But now that he's not promising to do anything, it made me curious. Maybe he's going to do something.
Oh, so you're saying we should be more afraid, like they should be more afraid of President Trump when he doesn't promise something.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, interesting. We'll see if that's correct. Okay, so Kaveh, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for using your precious internet in Iran to spend time with us. Let me know if that is not too difficult, especially with YouTube. Let me know on Telegram how if it was okay or not. Okay, and people are agreeing with you, by the way. Texas Troop is saying yes, exactly, agreed. Justin saying I agree. Okay, so people are agreeing with your take. I didn't even consider that. So Kaveh, your take is being a lot of people are agreeing with your take, which is interesting. Okay, so
Okay, thank you.
okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Armin.
Kaveh. We'll be in touch. We'll talk about future shows. But this was good. Thank you so much for guys. Please say thank you to Kaveh in the chat and all the great work he did for us to find these videos. He's helping me a lot when it comes to the research and the videos that I bring for you guys. You know, we on the Persian show, we go through them and analyze them. Kaveh finds a video and then we discuss them with our Persian speaking audience, mostly inside Iran. 80% of our audience on our Persian channel is inside Iran, right? So I first show it over there, and then I get the respond. Like I also look at the live chat over there to see what people think about it in the chat. So we go over them once, and then that's why when I come to the English channel, I have a much better understanding of what's going on. And Kaveh is responsible for all the research. So thank you, Kaveh. All right, Kaveh. See you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye. دمت گرم. مرسی ازت. Okay, so let's bring Grease Monkey. Grease Monkey, hey.
Hello, the rude. Hola.
Rude. Oh, you have a lot of background noises. Let me actually see if I could fix that from my end. Okay, no, it's good now. Can you open your mic? Oh yeah, it's good. I don't know what you did, but it's not there anymore. Okay, fantastic. Oh, when you're speaking, there's a lot of background noise. It's interesting, but okay, we could talk about that later. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it here. Okay, so what do you think? We got a super chat. I will respond to it soon. But what do you think about this new post by President? Let me read it one more time. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this properly. I think transversing, right? Is that how you pronounce this? Right?
Transversing, yes.
Okay, good. I pronounced it right. So, okay, the Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4 one-way attack drones at ships transversing the Strait of Hormuz. One of the drones solidly hit the upper deck of a large and very expensive cargo carrying ship. Damage was done, but the ship was able to proceed on its way. We knocked down 3 other drones. Obviously, this is a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement. President Donald J. Trump. What is your take, Mikey?
Well, I mean, if there's going to be a response, usually when there is a response, he only speaks about it once the response is done. He doesn't talk about a response until the response is already done. He doesn't say, we are going to respond. Usually what he says is, we have responded this and that and the other way. That's what he's usually doing. If he's not saying how he has responded, he doesn't say what he's going to do.
Okay. So interesting. So you have the same take as Kaveh and other people in the chat. Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
he's a great guy. I love this segment.
You like? Oh, you liked it? Okay, sounds good. Okay, that's great. Before we go to the news, I want to show you some memes, and I wanted to do this with you because I wanted to see if you like them or not. So before I show you the next meme, we need some context for people to know. Some people who haven't been watching us, who might be new here. This is not the meme. This is the actual video, but the next meme requires this as context. So Pezeshkian was recently in Pakistan. The president of the Islamic Republic was recently in Pakistan, and people are making fun of him because he was supposed to just do use the shovel once or twice to plant this tree, but he wouldn't stop, and people kept on trying to stop him, and he just kept on going and going and going. So let's just watch this video. So this is in Pakistan. So you're supposed to do just 1 and 2. So you can see this guy already is like, they're trying to stop him. Like, okay, that's good. That's enough. They're like, okay, that's good. But he doesn't stop. He ignores them. And he keeps on going. And like, okay.
This is kind of hilarious.
And it just
We
doesn't
have
stop.
similar ceremonies in America, and everybody knows you just do it 1 or 2.
Okay, like finally stopped. And then he does the water. And like, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so now
Oh,
that
he
you
won't
have-
stop. He just won't stop.
Okay, so now you have the context for this. The next meme is gonna make more sense. So this is what they I love this meme. Okay, so this is what the Iranians made. He just keeps on going. I don't know this.
This is where he keeps digging himself deeper in the hole.
Yes, exactly. So this is the first meme I have for you guys today. Let's see what else do we have. Oh, this is okay. The second one is not a meme, but it was getting shared on. So for FIFA in United States, we had this picture. This is a real picture that Iranian people were sharing. They had the Islamic Republic flag next to the LGBT flag, and people were taking pictures of that and making fun of that. And some people are saying, well, it's actually fitting with Mushtaba being gay and all. Then we had this one. So there's a lot of people, a lot of anti-regime Iranians are making fun of the Islamic Republic for giving up the blood of their supreme leader for some corn, because the narrative is that by the pro-regime people is like, we sold the blood of our supreme leader and we didn't get revenge. Like, by not getting revenge from the Americans, we instead settled for corn instead. So that's another meme at the anti-regime.
I think it's interesting because I think any American would get this. It has no words on it, but any American will say, I understand this.
Yes. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, wait. Oh, we got a super chat. I didn't see that one. Thank you, Maury, for the super chat saying, can you name a successful conquest that didn't use proper siege, didn't meant to fight in the land they meant to occupy? Well, I mean, if the goal was to occupy the land, fighting that, okay, but if you're suggesting that the Americans, to be successful, to be able to occupy the land that they wanted to occupy, they had to go fight on land, troops on the ground. The problem is that I don't think the goal was ever to occupy the land, right? Monkey, how do you respond to this?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Goals are goals. If your goal is to stay, then you stay. If your goal is to hit, then you hit.
Yeah, I think the original goal was to help with not to go occupy. The original goal was to help the Iranian people with their uprising. That was the goal.
Well, the legal framework was the uranium. That was the legal framework. It's a clear and present danger. It's a danger to Persian Gulf allies. It's even further, all the way up to Israel, who is basically our partner in the region. And we had intelligence that they had the ballistic missile type that can reach Europe or Diego Garcia, which was later demonstrated. If we're going around the legal framework of our initial goals, it was to hit the centrifuges. That was done during Midnight Hammer. And to recover or block the use of the material, which was done in the strikes. The strikes were initiated because of the intel. The people in charge of this material was an opportunity to hit them, and that was done. But that would be the legal framework. One of the things that accelerated the table and kind of probably led to hitting the leadership was the massacre.
Okay, and also here's some examples of what you're at. Let me actually answer your question. So Genghis Khan bypassed frontline fortress entirely, crossed an impossible desert, and appeared in the enemy's rear, causing a total psychological collapse. And then the Spanish in 1532 didn't fight the Inca army. He captured the emperor in a surprise ambush, instantly paralyzing and seizing a highly centralized state from the top down. So that's the Spanish decapitation. And here's another example. Germany took Denmark in under 6 hours via simultaneous paratrooper and sea landings, forcing an immediate bloodless political surrender before a defense could even mobilize. Also, I think the Venezuela example with Maduro is another example.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Venezuela, the most recent one, Maduro, Venezuela, successful. No occupation. So that's one example. Okay, those are some examples. Oh, and we got another. Okay, Jew hater is saying PBD is my leader. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
Patrick Bet Davis.
I know, but what, like, you support the Islamic Republic and PBD is your leader? That's a weird thing to say. Okay.
He's going to switch up. I bet Patrick Bet Davis is going to switch up. He's going to start, when everyone starts supporting Pahlavi, he's going to go, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about that guy. Maybe he's kind of good.
Yeah. I mean, he's already trying to do that recently. I saw that. And then we have Flesh Interloper with a super chat saying Jew hater has no money and nose fetish. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right, let's go to the next meme. Here. What is this one? I have it. Oh, okay. Oh, so he's on the phone. He says, "Baba mo dadim, josh balal dadan." Like, oh, we sold my father and we got corn instead. You know, what do you call this type of corn that is cooked like this? We call it in Persian.
Corn on the cob. This is like corn on the cob.
Yeah, so he's saying on the phone, we gave corn on the what? Cob?
On the cob, like you still have it on, like on the stick, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, he said we gave up we sold my father and we got some corn on the cob. So that's another meme is being shared on Iranian social media. And then we have, this one is in English, so I don't need to translate. That's great. So a game of corns and Ghalibaf sitting in the middle on the Iron Throne with all the popcorn around him. And they have the flag of Hezbollah and with the stripes of United States for some, yeah. So you're basically saying he's kind of sold to the Americans. What does it say here? In the game of corns, you win or you pop. That's kind of corny. But okay. All right. So game of corns. Then let me see. What else do we have? We have this meme that is being shared around on social media in Iran. And then we have this one. Again, Mushtaba again on the phone saying Salamati. ببین میشه اجی و مسعود رو بدیم Adaso lubia begirim. Wait, what's adas in English? God damn it, I forgot. Lentils, I think. Yeah. So he's saying like, so basically, the context is that they gave out Ali Khamenei and they got corn, hay, and soy, and now he's saying, okay, can we give Ejei and Pezeshkian and get some lentils and some beans now? You say so. He's like,
Sounds like a plan.
Give it. He's like, given that we gave out Ali Khamenei and we got corn, soy, and beans, can we now give up Ejei and Pezeshkian for some lentils and beans? Lentil and beans. That's good.
I'm loving these.
These are good. This is a good one. I like that. And then let me see. Do I have? Oh yeah, one more. This one is English. I don't need to translate this one. I like this one. So, new Supreme popcorn now with bonus Khamenei ballerina doll. I think because he's gay. It has a U.S. flag on it. Supreme popcorn. Oh, okay. There's a limited edition. Collect the whole Supreme collection. This is actually kind of cute, though.
That is kind of adorable. I would like to see like a real version of that, just like someone 3D print it. Just to make fun of them, put them in the back, like in the background around you, like have it back there.
That's pretty cute. Okay, so these are the memes I had. Let's go back to look at this. I want to see what people General Keen, is that how you pronounce his name? This general,
I believe so.
I want to see, yeah, I think he has some good takes. I want to see what his response is to the recent attacks on commercial ships by the Islamic Republic and what he thinks should happen. Okay, so let's play this.
An Iranian drone strike on a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz near the coast of Oman is raising new concerns about the fragile peace deal reached between the U.S. and Iran just last week. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reassuring Gulf allies that their security is a priority.
We want to ensure that in any decisions that are made throughout this negotiating process, the interests of our partners and our allies in the region are always taken into account. That there is no part of this deal that's undertaken that in any way undermines the security, the stability, or the prosperity of any of our partners in the Gulf region.
He says he was going to listen more than speak. So here, what we can do and expect over the next 60 days is retired four-star general Fox News.
So I think they sent Rubio out there to just as a demonstration that they're serious, like they haven't completely abandoned the Arab countries around the Persian Gulf. That's my impression. What is that? Your impression?
Yes, when you put Marcus Rubius Floridicus Cubanicus out front, you're putting your best foot forward.
Yeah, and also they know that that he is the most aggressive against Mujtaba and the rest of them. And right now, the Arab countries need to get some reassurance that they haven't been completely forgotten. So they sent, I think. That's why I think Rubio would have been the best person for trying to reassure them that they're going to still be hostile to the Islamic Republic. That's why I think he's there.
I think Vance would just piss them off. Vance would just make them angry. Yeah. I think they wouldn't respect. It's like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Any of our partners in the Gulf region.
He says he was going to listen more than speak. So here, what we can do and expect over the next 60 days is retired four-star general, Fox News senior strategic analyst, chairman of the Institute.
He usually, what do you know about him? He usually has good takes. Do you agree or no?
Well, from what I've seen him around, I'd say 5-6 times if I'm going to go just shoot a number out there. And I haven't heard him had a bad take.
Okay. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, George. George Handsome with the super chat saying Ali Khomeini. Okay, there's a church Khomeini to Khomeini. Okay.
Or Khomeini, like small.
Oh, Khomeini. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, George, for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Study of war, General Jack Keane. General, when that drone struck, what were you thinking?
Well, it didn't surprise me at all. I mean, because the reality is, Iran, when they look at the Straits of Hormuz and what they were able to achieve when they first shut it down on 2 March, just several days after the war began on February 28th, and then we went to a ceasefire several weeks later on April the 8th. They achieved something with that, and that is stuck in their head. They believe this gives them geopolitical advantage over their adversaries, the Gulf states in the region, and also some leverage with the United States. And remember, the MOU, while everything is in the future in the MOU over the 60-day negotiation period and then some, in terms of all things nuclear, ballistic missiles, support for proxies, and the list goes on. But the deal, an agreement that was struck, was over the Strait of Hormuz in the MOU. And that certainly is, it is supposed to be open, all lanes, clear the lanes that are not clear, and no administrative control whatsoever. And here, Iran is doing 2 things. One is they're exercising administrative control, and certainly that is prohibited. And what I mean by that, they're telling ships where they can go and when they can go in terms of what lanes. And 2, you have to get Iranian insurance to execute that. That is absolutely prohibited.
So this Iranian insurance is a clever way to pretend that you're not collecting tolls, right? And like, you just need to buy our insurance. That's basically another way of collecting tolls.
Basically.
Is that your take? Yeah.
I think they're going to try to collect tolls. When they do that, they're going to say, okay, so you're just going to keep the money. We're going to keep the food too. You broke the deal and we may start bombing you. But you know what? Our farmers are still going to get your money. IRGC.
As much as I don't like the fact that the food is going to turn into money and the IRGC is going to use that to buy missiles and drone components from Russia and China, it is very, very humiliating that the Islamic Republic is giving money to American farmers after they killed Ali Khamenei. It is very humiliating.
Only if we actually give it to them, because we could just keep the money and the food. If they break the ceasefire.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait, this is an explanation for the previous super chat. Ali Khomeini. Khomeini is corn? Is it corn? Monkey?
I don't know. I mean, it may be in it's not in Spanish or English that I know, but maybe in a Middle Eastern language that I'm not aware of. Maybe Urdu or I don't know.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna look at. Oh, let me turn this off. Sorry about that. Okay, so Hamini. Hamini is what? Oh,
it's possible that I'm just not aware of it.
Oh, it's white corn. Look at this. Texas Trooper saying, "What the F? What kind of Hispanic are you?" Okay, it's Hamini. Hamini is white corn.
Okay.
Hispanic.
We call it maize. That's what we call it. Now, I think the Native Americans also call it maize, but we call it maíz, like with an accent on the I in Spanish.
It's a kind of corn. It's a kind of corn. It's a specific type of corn. Okay.
I will endeavor to try the white corn. I will do my best, Chad. I apologize for my indiscretion. I will have some white corn.
Oh, okay. Look at this. Jew hater is calling you out, Monkey. He's saying a Hispanic Zayo. I've seen it all. There's actually a lot of Hispanic Zayos.
Yes,
yes,
a majority, like a plurality.
Yeah.
Over 70%, I would say.
Really? Yeah. I mean, didn't
I will put it higher.
Right-leaning, like didn't a whole bunch of countries in the Latin America just went pro-Israel just recently?
The thing about the Latin countries that are left, they're only left economically. They're not left religiously. They're not left. They're not. Most of them are not down with being against Judaism. They're not down with. This is a very tiny segment in Latin America, And I would put it as the same people that are brainwashed by university that become anti-Zionist in Latin America. The great majority, for a very long time, have been very much pro-Jewish people, pro-Zionism, not in the specific sense that they understand what's going on over there, but they don't hate Jews at all. Like our Messiah is a Jew. We like Judaism more than Jews because their God didn't start Jewish. Ours did. Ours was a rabbi the whole time. It was also all God, but also all rabbi.
No, but going back to Jew haters' ignorance on Hispanics, Colombia just we have a new president in Colombia who is moving the embassy of Colombia in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and is aggressively trying to improve the relationships between Colombia and Israel. So yeah, that's great progress that we just saw in Colombia.
Yes.
So yeah. Jew hater, unfortunately for you, there are many people who love Jews and Israel. So yeah. And also he's saying he's another super chat saying Keen is on Fox News for a reason. The military strategists know the truth and they don't listen to retired mouthpieces who want to stay relevant. He is relevant. He has a huge respect from the military strategists everywhere. I think somebody who's trying to be relevant is you, who's using super, because you don't have any friends and anybody, you're using super chats just to find some meaning in your life because you have nobody to talk to, and you just come here and give us super chats supporting this Zionist channel, and you're trying to feel relevant by giving it this Jew supporting, Israeli supporting channel super chats. That's you. And then Jew hater saying your Lord is a Jew. That's he's talking.
Jesus Christ is a rabbi, despite the Islamic plagiarism and copy pasta of the Torah and the Bible. That is the truth of the matter.
Yeah. And then we have another super chat from Maury saying, Jew hater, I can show you the world. Just quit the cult. Just quit the death cult. Yep. I don't think he will. He's in too deep. Anyways, let's get back to this video.
By the MOU. And then obviously violating the ceasefire is what it is. And taking a cargo ship. Now, why did they shoot at that ship? Well, because it was in a lane that they didn't want them to be in. A lane that's much closer to Oman and where U.S. Military forces are. So we're going to have to arm wrestle this out, make certain that they step back. And if they continue to do this, I think a couple of things are going to happen. The president is not going to let this stand. He's been public record explaining exactly where he is on the Straits of Hormuz. The MOU was kind of confusing in the sense, remember what it said? No restrictions during a 60-day period. And then when the 60-day period is over, yes, Oman and the Iranians are going to work out the details in terms of how to administer it to it. Well, that implies a level of control. The president spoke out very pointedly on that and said that's not going to happen. If anybody's going to control the Straits, it's going to be the United States, and we'll actually charge a fee if a fee is appropriate. So this is going to get resolved. Either it'll get resolved and the Iranians will stand down and stop what they're doing, or we will force them to stand down. And step one would be put back in place what we were doing when we cleared a lane and we were protecting the ships to go through that one lane that was close to Oman. We were getting 55 ships through there a day.
So, Monkey, what do you think about this? I think like people criticize President Trump right now, saying if this is a violation of the MOU and the ceasefire, why is the blockade not back up? Like the blockade was supposed to be removed in exchange of the Islamic Republic not blocking the Strait of Hormuz. And now they're clearly blocking it, and the American blockade still not back up. How would you respond to that?
Well, I never wanted, like, okay, what do I think? What do I think about what's happening right now? I think we're trying to take that time that we want to take. I think we want to make sure those funds get to those farmers. if there's any other industries that we're going to use IRDC funds to disperse, any unions that we need to, pepper with IRDC funds, we're going to do that. We're going to take care of the midterms, right? So we may let some things go like this, right? While we're, spreading those funds out, getting those funds out to all the electorate, right? So they know who has their back, right? And then we're going to take those supplies. And if they keep doing that, we're going to keep the supplies and the money. And you're not going to get anything and you're going to lose the money.
I do think they're going to release the supplies. We'll see. I don't think they're going to keep the supplies.
Like if they go back to kinetics, how are they going to deliver it? If this keeps going on, we're going to go back to kinetic. And if we go back to kinetic, we're not going to deliver anything. You know how long it takes to get that stuff over there? It takes a long time. It doesn't take that long to pay for it, but it takes a long time to get it over there. So they're messing around, and they're going to wind up not getting them. We're going to use the money. Once we disperse the money, that's not coming back. But it takes a long time to get over there. And they keep fucking around, and they're going to find out. And what they're going to find out is you're not going to get the money and you're not going to get the supplies, because we're going to go back to kinetics because you keep doing this shit.
Okay. Okay. So there's a comment by the Jew hater for you, but can I respond to this first? I want to respond to it as an atheist before you respond. Is that okay?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So Jew hater is saying to you, God is not a Jew, little bro. Have some shame, LOL. God is above race and tribe. So so he's a Muslim, obviously. You're a Christian. I'm an atheist. Okay, so I want to tell him this. As an atheist, I think it's far, 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 far better to believe God is a Jew than believing in a prophet that raped a child. I think if you want to have shame, you should stop believing in a prophet that raped a child. But yeah, go on, Monkey.
Well, I believe that I think it's in the Quran or the Hadith that it says, let the Jews judge by the Torah and let the Christians judge by the Bible, right? So, I mean, what are you talking about? What are you doing over here? Are you an apostate? Are you committing shirk? What's going on here? Like, you're going against your own religion here. And Judaism is above race and tribe. That is correct.
Right. And let's go to Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey. You want to read this, Monkey? I think you do a better job. This is our Jeffrey.
Proud member of the military-industrial complex says hello from the bedroom of Jew hater's mom. Oh, you got visit. That's why he's mad. He's hearing that tang, 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 tang. That's what's going on here. Operational pause was due to critical munitions. That's another good point. We do have to resupply. Everyone has to resupply. It's not just resupplying ourselves. We have to resupply enough to deal with Iran, enough to deal with anything else that comes up in Africa, in all that area, anything that comes up in the Indo-Pacific, anything that comes up in Southcom, like in all the Americas. So we have to resupply in overabundance. There's some news that's coming out that we're switching to a war economy. What does that do? Well, it means that what used to take us years to resupply is going to switch to months, because we have factories cranking out. When America switches to a war economy, it was one of the most impressive things that it was seen in World War I and World War II. Switching to a war economy, that's no joke. It means munitions come fast. We would be getting ready for World War III if that's where it's going.
Okay. So how long would it take? But can you, I'm going to go do a bio break. Can you explain, in your opinion, how long it would take to, do you think if you get the critical munitions back, that's what it's needed to go back to kinetic military operations? So it's not about the midterm, it's about the munitions. And wouldn't that mean that it's going to take a lot longer for us to go back to kinetic military operations, because it's going to take longer to resupply all of that? I'll be right back while you explain that.
All right. So the thing with the resupply and the midterms is that these things aren't mutually exclusive. You can both be waiting for the midterms and for a critical resupply. You'd also be doing a reassessment of the kind of weapons, changing weapons. Excuse me, going to directed energy weapons. That's another switch that's happening because it turns the judgment on how to defend from thousands and millions into like dollars because it all takes its energy. That's a change that's happening. Anything going on with the midterms would also be affected because let's say we wait these 2 months out. Maybe let's make it 2 or 3 months. So we're talking July, August, right? September. Let's say we start striking in September to October. That might not be so good, right? We might want to wait out a little bit more, but it would be. Let me see how I can explain it. When there is war, people trust the Democrats less. So the idea that we absolutely can't be having kinetic operations during a campaign season, it's kind of like not true. One of the strongest re-elections that was had by Bush too, and it was had during kinetic operations. So that's not an impediment on winning an election. Sometimes it's stronger because in the middle of a war, you don't want a Democrat. Most people don't. So that's not an impediment. What you don't want is the economy to be bad. So you want to keep the economy good all the way up until September, because any change in the economy is going to take about 2 months to be felt. So if you keep the economy good up until September, it's going to stay good through October and November, and the election is in November. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, it can be both things. You can be resupplying and waiting out the election.
But resupplying is going to take a lot longer, no?
Not necessarily, not more than 2 or 3 months. Remember, like we have been resupplying, right? The only thing that we had going on was the blockade, right? Yes, we did have to expend munitions, but we haven't been expending munitions like we were at the start. So our resupply didn't start now. Our resupply has been ongoing since we switched to economic fury and a blockade. So that's something that's ongoing. So I believe we would be finishing up. It might take another 2 months.
Okay. We have somebody in the chat who wants to know the name of your channel. So let me just put it up here. So guys, this is Grease Monkeys. It's called Motorpool Grease Monkey. I think you should put a space between Grease and Monkey. No? Over here.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to put the link to in the chat. Let me see how many. You have 79 subscribers. Guys, we're trying to get him his first 100. And then after that, we're going to go all the way to 1,000 so that he could monetize his channel. So I put that. I'm hearing echo back when I'm Monkey. So close your mic when I'm speaking because I'm hearing myself. Let me just mute you. Okay, I'll just mute you myself. All right, so guys, the link is in the chat. Go subscribe to his channel. Anyways, let's do get the update a little bit more. I will go back to the super chats right after this, but go subscribe to Grease Monkey's channel. But let's go back over here because I want to make sure that we are all on the same page before we go back to super chats.
Or, if necessary, go back to Project Freedom, which is we absolutely open the straits physically and keep them open and maintain a presence there to guarantee that that's open. And obviously that would take some time, but nonetheless, that's what's in front of us. Step one, I see the president putting his foot down here and telling him to knock it off. And if that is not enough,
right,
then we're going to move into the phases I think I just mentioned to you.
So, General, they are doing some research around the globe to find out how much they should charge. And you mentioned the insurance, the Iranian insurance you got to get. And that is in direct contradiction with the Secretary of State said and what the Vice President said in the past. I hope they're relaying this accurately to the President, what is actually going on as opposed to what he'll tolerate. The other thing to keep in mind, too, is that Oman is supposed to be an ally. Why don't they just put out a letter saying we will not charge for anything in the Strait? Why are they seemingly talking to Iran about charging for the Strait?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. And obviously, we can leverage them to do just that if that's necessary. I think we're going to need the American public statement on what is happening here and what our intentions are and what lies ahead if the Iranians don't comply with that.
See, he seems frustrated. He seems frustrated that the Americans are not responding to all of this. What do you think?
I think we are all frustrated. I mean, like, well, look, you know me, you know Jeff. There's a lot of us on the conservative side that want to go back to boom boom. It's only the woke right that's really happy about this, and they're all about to join the Democrats. Nick is about to join the Democrats. Tucker's about to join the Democrats. Those are all basically undercover Democrats. Like on the conservative side, the thing that we know, because we try to be like objective, is like, look, maybe there's information here that we don't know. There's plans that we don't know. There's things going on in the background that we don't know. That's why we are more conservative about judgment on the present situation. We're not going, oh, Trump's an idiot. We're not talking like that because we know that there's information we don't know. But I understand his frustration.
Exactly. Okay. Let me finish this, and then I'm going to go to the super chats. We got a whole bunch that we didn't read already, so we'll go to that right after this. It's only a few more seconds left.
We're not going to stand for this, obviously. This you cannot overstate how strongly the Iranians feel about control of the Straits. It's equal to nuclear weapons, and I'm not overstating it. Why is that? Because it provides them deterrence, and we've seen the evidence of that deterrence here during the war. And it gives them leverage and control in the region. And that's what they want. And they believe that is a plus that has happened. Most everything that's happened to them is a negative as a result of the war. But they see this as a plus as a result of the war, and they want to hold on to it. And we are not going to let them do that. We will have to take it away from them if necessary, if they don't voluntarily give up control.
I hope there's a plan in place.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope there is a plan. I do want to go to President Trump, but before that, let me just do some super chats. Justin, thank you so much for the super chat saying, Jew hater, yes, Jesus, whom your precious Muhammad called a prophet, is Jewish. And yeah, thank you, Justin, for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, Islam does think that. Islam thinks most prophets were most of the prophets that Islam believes in are considered Jewish, for sure. But go on, Monkey, you want to say something?
I just agree. Yes, and thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you. And then we have Jeffrey again with another super chat saying, regarding critical munitions, follow-up strikes will use non-critical munitions, GPS-guided GPB delivered by heavy bombers, not missiles. Okay, that's interesting.
Sometimes we adapt older munitions with some fins and some electronics on it, and we take old stuff that's basically not made, wasn't created with that type of targeting in mind, and we adapt it. So it just helps us clear the old inventory. And I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe this is what he's talking about.
Okay. And then we have Fickle Knot. I don't know what this quotation is from. Fickle Knot saying, those of you who think you know it all are annoying those of us who do. And it's in quotations. Do you know what this is a reference to? I don't know what this is a reference to.
It could be, like I was saying earlier, we're more conservative on our judgment of what's going on in the background. Like if it was up to us, we'd probably be going back to boom booms. But because we don't know everything, we try to be like, hey, you know, I think I might know what's happening, but I don't know. And we're more on the side of admitting that. But there's people who think They absolutely know everything that's going on, and they got a diagnosis, and they know exactly what's going to happen. And that is annoying, yes.
Right. And then we got two Bible verses from Jew hater trying to attack the Bible. One of them is Luke 19:27, Gospel of Luke, saying, "Bring here those enemies of mine who did not want me to reign over them and slay them before me." Let me, Monkey, let me respond. I'll respond to this first. I will, and then I'll let you respond. And then Jew hater also is saying in Gospel of Mark, Mark 7, verses 9 to 13 says, Jesus cites the command, "Whoever curses father or mother must surely die." Okay, so I'm an atheist. I'll let Monkey respond to those verses. But now that you're bringing up verses and I'm an atheist, let me actually read some Quran verses for you then. "Men are in charge of women, but those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally beat them." The Quran teaches you to beat your wives. And then we have sex slavery in the Quran. So that's Quran 4:33. Then we have Quran 4:24, same chapter of the Quran, saying, "Also prohibited to you are all married women, except those who your right hand possesses." Basically, this is saying women who you capture in battle, you can rape them. The Quran is telling you women who you capture in battle, you can rape them. That is a direct verse from the Quran. And also we have Quran chapter 65 verse 4 saying, "And also for those who have not menstruated." This is basically telling you that you could divorce those wives of you that you had sex with but have not yet menstruated, meaning that Islam allows you to have wives who are young enough not to have menstruated yet. Wives, you basically, the Quran says that you could marry, so-called marry, and have sex with girls before they even have their period. That's Quran chapter 65 verse 4. And then we have, but Quran chapter 9 verse 5 says, "But once the sacred months have passed, kill the polytheists wherever you find them, capture them, besiege them, and lie in wait for them in every way." So basically, make sure once the sacred months are over, kill all the people who are not Muslim, wherever you find them. And then we have Quran chapter 4 verse 56 saying, "Those who disbelieve in the Quranic verses, we will drive them into a fire. Every time their skins are roasted through, we will replace them with other skins so they may taste the punishment." So basically it's saying, God, people who don't believe in the Quran, we will burn them alive, and once their skin is burnt, we will give them new skin so that they could feel the burn over and over and over again. And also guard private parts except from their wives of those who their right hand possess. Okay, these are other verses. This is chapter 23 verses 5 to 6, chapter 70 verses 29 to 30, basically talking about women that you possess because you have captured them in battle. So if you want to bring verses of scripture, if you're defending Islam, what is it saying? Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. Yeah. And Islam is the glassiest of all houses. But anyway, Sketch, if you want to respond to that before I go to other super chats.
It's very funny because Islamists do this a lot. They quote little verses of the Bible without knowing the context. The context of that verse is when there's a person who gives talents, is like a treasure chest to many people, to different people. And it's like, hey, you get this, you get that. That's basically, let me see. Yes, that's basically the parable. The parable is about, to those which much is given, much will be taken, and it's basically what they're talking about. Now, this is very telling because the IRGC had all the wealth, all the resources of Iran, and they lost everything. Their economy is a failure. The IRGC basically destroyed their economy. They destroyed everything. So you got to be very careful about what you're talking about, because what you're really talking about is how terrible Iran is at, managing anything they have, right? So he doesn't know what he's quoting. He's picking one line out of a parable. I tell you, everyone who has, more will be given, but to the one who has nothing, even what they have will be taken. They didn't have anything. They took it from the people. And that even that they took from the people will be taken. Now, people like Elon Musk, that they were given talent, given abilities. Well, they took that and they multiply it. So people, it's like the Pareto principle that Jordan Peterson talks about. Like there's some people that are going to be able to multiply what they have, and there are people that are just going to have nothing, and whatever they get, they're going to squander it. So that's what that's talking about.
Okay. Anyways, we should go to the next super chats. Kevin, thank you so much. Gifted 1 membership to somebody in the live chat. So somebody is now a member because of Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin. And always giving us gifts. Thank you. And BT June saying, happy birthday to my sweet boy who is 8 today. Oh my God. Happy birthday to BT June's boy. That is so sweet. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for telling us. Guys, everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to BT's son. That's amazing. Thank you for telling us. Wonderful. Can we do a shout out? I don't know what his name is. But happy birthday, BT's son.
Happy birthday, feliz en tu día, amiguito, que Dios te bendiga.
Oh
It's like
God.
a Spanish birthday song.
Okay, I'll respond to this one and then we'll go to President Trump. Jew hater saying, buddy, Christianity has failed all your irrelevant Hispanic countries.
Actually, what failed all those countries was leftism and Marxism. That's what failed them. There are Christian nations like the one that Javier Milei in Argentina. They wiped out their debt and now their economy is thriving. This has also happened with Bukele. They're all Christian. They're thriving. Puerto Rico has been thriving for a long time compared to all these socialist Marxist nations. So if you want to know where the failure is, it's in this economic system of, oh, I'm being oppressed, let me take your stuff.
There you go. And what is it? How do you pronounce this? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Toshamaye?
Toshamaye. Thank you. Toshamaye. With being a member for 1 month. Thank you so much for being a member for 1 month. Saying Egypt versus Iran game is on Pride Day. Oh, that explains this picture that we saw, because this is going viral inside Iran. Thank you for telling us. I didn't know that. So this is going viral inside Iran, and Iranians were wondering, why did they put the Islamic Republic flag next to the LGBT flag? I mean, it makes sense now for like, but some Iranians were saying, is it because Mushtaba is gay? That's what people were saying. Anyway,
You know, they made Black History Month the shortest, coldest month. I mean, they make Gay Pride Month the hot, long month that you have the whole month off. These Democrats, when they give out, their days and their holidays, it's not fair. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
yeah. Texas Troop is saying exactly what I was hearing. People are saying, is it they're honoring the guy Gayatollah? Probably, yeah. That's the actual reason, right? Justin with the super chat saying, hey guys, just ignore Jew hater. Remember, that's how we deal with narcissists. They feed off your reactions. But he's so funny and retarded, and I love attacking, like shitting on people with retarded takes. I don't know. I kind of think like he brings joy to the channel by demonstrating how shitty, like it also show you how bad our enemies' takes are, and it also like shows how, I don't know, I think a lot of people like us attacking Jew hater. I don't know. He is hilarious. See, Texas Trooper saying he is hilarious. It's comedic relief. I think he's contributing. Go on.
He's like a fungus. He grows on you.
Yes. Oh, here. And also, I get the best responses from Grease Monkey, from Jeffrey. Like every time I highlight some of these comments and I let Grease Monkey's response regarding Latin America, like I didn't know that. And because Jew hater came out and said something like retarded like that, and a Grease Monkey just responded to that, and we were all educated because of your response. So I think he's a useful idiot. I think. I don't know. That's my take. You guys.
Well, you know what? You've convinced me. Okay, I was very much against. Like, I don't have to take that. I don't even care about his money. Get him out. But you know what? You know what? You were right, Armin. You were right.
No. Well, thank you. Okay, I appreciate that. And here's another response. Another comment you could respond to. Jew hater is saying those nations are all cucked and provide nothing in terms of power or influence. Oh, this coming from a person. This coming from a person who thinks the Islamic Republic has power. But yeah, go on.
Okay, so you're talking about Bukele and Argentina, the two nations that are being used as an example for the rest. Those two nations are the reason why Latin America has turned. It's not because of the United States. The United States did play a part because they did kind of help them and support them. But the thing that turned Latin America right is that they saw that El Salvador went from one of the most dangerous places in all of the Americas, and you know what? All of the world, unless you're talking about literal war zones, they went to one of the safest places. People are remigrating because their property value back home in El Salvador far exceeds anything they could make in the United States. It's safer, it's prettier. They're all going back home, not because they were kicked out, because conservatism in free market, economy in El Salvador turned it into a paradise. That's what's going on. And that is what turned all the nations. Just that change in economy and that strong law-centered approach, like we're going to have law and order, that is the number one reason why all those nations turned. They are extremely influential. They're so influential even in Peru. Now, Fujimori won. There's like a couple left, Brazil, and they are having that's going like 50-50 right now. Like I'm putting it at 40-60, 50-50, but the left is overrepresented in polls. So that's starting to get close. And by the time they vote, it might go all the way. Funny how US aid got disbanded, and suddenly every nation in South America doesn't have these NGOs funding the campaigns and funding, trying to buy votes. And they got to like deal with the present situation and deal with the law and order situation.
I like how Jew hater comes here. He thinks that he has that he could say something and humiliate us. And every time he gets humiliated himself, every single time. Oh, here's another comment. He's saying, look how Venezuela is so penetrated and weak. They let Trump humiliate them in such a disgraceful manner. No honor or dignity. You all need Islam. You fucking idiot. Didn't he just Venezuela is actually the best case example for what Grease Monkey is saying, but go on.
Yes, as a leftist penetrated by Trump, Trump penetrated the Venezuela leftist control there. They were in control. They got penetrated. They basically took out Maduro, right? This is all a leftist government. Maduro didn't want to recognize the election. Maduro was the left winger in power. Maduro was the left winger who didn't want to lose control, didn't want to recognize the election after he lost it. Like it's illegally in control, leftist. They don't let go of power. Then he was penetrated by Trump. This is true. Yes, I do believe that basically leftist nations are cuck nations and they do get penetrated. And they will be more penetrated by the conservative governments and, you know what, by militaries if they don't get their act together.
If you are a Muslim, you shouldn't remind us about penetration. Because I don't know if you guys know about the story of Muhammad and Al-Zut. Do you know about this, Monkey?
I know about, yes, and Al-Qalbi, who was, little night friend. The Al-Zut were like, the gang that helped him out. But yeah, he had a little boyfriend, and then he had his gang of, bang bros.
So, guys, this is authentic Islamic hadith. Muhammad on purpose went into the desert and with his friend. Let me say if I could bring up the hadith for this. This is a hadith. Let me actually get the Muhammad on purpose went into the desert with his friend, and a whole bunch of, they say, again, this is not me saying, a whole, so he could get penetrated by a whole bunch of men. Again, this is Islamic hadith. Muhammad meets a tall, dark, naked, jinn-like men resembling Al-Zut, Indian origin group. They rode him all night while he recited Quran. So and he returned exhausted, pained. Let me get the hadith. This is authentic Islamic hadith. This is according to Muslims themselves, okay? So Ibn Masud narrated, the messenger of Allah, means basically Prophet Muhammad, performed prayers, then took my hand. So he's saying this is the person who's narrating this. He said, Muhammad took my hand, went to a wide valley in Mecca. He drew a line for me around him and said, stay inside this line. Do not leave it or you will perish. I basically said, you're not going to get raped by these men if you stay inside this circle. So I'm going to get raped, but you stay inside the circle or else you're going to get raped as well. So what I'm about to experience, you're not going to be able to handle that. So you stay in this circle, right? So he drew a circle around me and says, stay inside this line. Do not leave it or you will perish. Guys, I kid you not. This is Islamic hadith. This is their scripture. He said, I stayed. He went a short distance away. Then there appeared beings resembling the Al-Zut, tall, lean, with no clothes on, yet I did not see their private parts. They came and began to ride upon the messenger of Allah. Again, I read this again. They came and began to ride upon the messenger of Allah, Muhammad, while he recited the Quran to them. They also came around me, swaying and terrifying me greatly, so I sat down. But he was safe because he was sitting inside that circle.
Also sitting down to protect the back hole.
Yeah, true. When dawn broke, so all night, they were pounding Muhammad all night until dawn. When dawn broke, they left. The messenger of Allah came back heavy and in pain from what they had for what they had ridden him. Okay. He said, I find myself heavy, then placed his head in my lap and slept. Then another group in white garments came. They gave the parable of the chief inviting to. Okay, so then the other people show up, and basically they told Muhammad some stories. The Prophet explained they were angels. So the first group that rode Muhammad all night, they were jinns. The second group that came, they were angels. So there we go. That's Islamic hadith. So again, every time a Muslim talks to you about penetration, just remind them about the story of Al-Zut and Muhammad.
Muhammad was the first gay imam.
Yeah, prophet or this, I don't know.
Prophet, yeah. Preacher or whatever. I don't know the terminology too well.
Yeah, people are saying sounds like a magical night.
Do you
Guys,
know?
I'm not, yeah.
Do you know why he did that? I think there's two main reasons. I have a theory. One is because in those times, and this is like pagan stuff and all kinds of stuff, there was a legend that if a very virile man did that to you, you would somehow absorb that virility, and he wanted to absorb that virility. And there is also theories that the only reason that he could do the things he did to younger, little girls is because he had a micro peepee. And because he had a micro peepee, he went out into the desert and tried this desperate measure to grow his micro peepee by letting the Al Zud put a macro peepee inside him.
Wait, I didn't catch that. I'm trying to, because this is so ridiculous. People might think I'm just making this up. So I want to show people that I'm not making this up, because people are like, come on, Armin. There is absolutely no way that this is a hadith. So yeah, Al Zut turn towards the messenger and okay, yep, found it here. So if you think that I'm making this up, here. This is sunnah.com. This is by Muslims. This is the website where you get all the hadiths, right? So this is by Muslims for Muslims, and here's the hadith if you want to go find it. This is the citation of the hadith here. Okay? And then look at this. We have, do you know where they are? I said Allah is messenger. No. Okay, here, let's go up here. Go up here. Okay, Al Zud. They ended before we met. I was sitting, he said, I have been awake watching all night. Then he entered into the line. He entered into line me and lay down on my thigh. Okay, so this is when after the raping is over. Okay, so here he went to him in the wide valley. He sat down, then he drew a line around him, then said, do not go beyond your line, for indeed there shall come men to you, but do not speak to them, for they shall not speak to you. He said, then the messenger went to where, okay, so there's multiple narrations of this. This is another narration of this. This is a same story, but with a different narration. I was sitting in the line. Men came to me that appeared as if they were from Al Zut, a dark people. Basically, they were black. That's what he's saying. A dark people meaning that they were black, either from North Africa or India. I don't know how people from Africa and India made it to the Mecca, but they're jinns. He's not saying that they are from Africa and India. He's saying these jinns, because they were black, they look like people from North Africa or India. And then both their hair and their bodies, I did not see nakedness nor covering. So it basically means that they were naked, but I didn't see their private parts. They ended up before me, but they did not pass the line. Then they returned towards Messenger of Allah. And when I was near the end of the night, the Messenger of Allah came to me while I was sitting. And he said, okay, so this doesn't have the raping part, but it tells you, let me find the other one. So here, this is the one. There's so many different narrations of this.
They have a methodology where they whitewash their previous hadiths with the newest one. I put in my chat the Raymond Ibrahim. He goes into the context. He puts in all the links. I put it in my chat. His video on it, because he's like kind of a scholar in this, and he knows the languages. He goes deep into the history of it. And let me see here. He has links in here to the convenient link provided by Jay with the doc. He has a link to a doc on it there, and it has all the details on it. But the video is also very interesting, and I would recommend him.
Let me see if I could find right. Oh, there we go. Here. And they came and started to ride the Messenger of Allah, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam began to recite the Quran to them. There we go. And this is the Arabic hadith.
Okay, so are you ready for my theory?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, now the theory that the chat already heard it, but I'm gonna go over it again. The theory that I have is that there was in the pagan eras, this is like Greek things and other cultures had this thing where if you took in very viral men, you would have their virility, right? And there's another theory that the reason why Muhammad had this preference for younger women is because he had a micro peepee. And he thought that if he took the macro peepee in the back hole, he would develop a macro peepee from his micro peepee. So he was trying to grow his micro peepee by taking many, many macro peepees.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm not saying he's very good at anything to do with medicine or anatomy or it's not the kind of blue pill you want.
I think the Jew hater walked into something that he didn't expect. He tried to embarrass Christianity, and then I think we penetrated him the way Al-Zud penetrated Muhammad.
Yes.
I think he's like, what the fuck? I shouldn't like so much insult against my prophet because of what I said, I shouldn't have done this. Yeah.
He was Al-Zuded by us.
Yeah, he was Al-Zuded by us. Anyways, let's go to the super chats. Nemo with the super chat saying, Jew hater is giving you money, just make a fool of him. Yeah, exactly. He's funding Zionism because I consider myself a Zionist. Monkey, do you consider yourself a Zionist?
Well, there's a version of Zionism that I think is the most logical and common one, that is they have a right to exist. And yes, of course, they have a right to exist. They have a right to defend their borders. Of course, that's the basic Zionism, right?
Zionism is just nationalism for Israel, in my opinion. It just means that you believe Israel should be a country and be able to defend itself. That makes you a Zionist. But that's how I define Zionism.
Like I believe in Americanism. They have a right to exist. They have a right to defend their borders. They have a right to, engage in trade and commerce and allyship with whoever, accepts.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you support us, you're supporting Zionism. So thank you. And thank you, Nima. And Tosh. How do you pronounce this again? Toshamaya?
Tasha
May. Tasha May, thank you so much for. Oh, she's saying she's. Okay, I should have just read the super chat. Tasha May, I am a hillbilly. FIFA trolling Islam. Yes. Okay. I love the name, by the way. It's beautiful. Now that I know how to pronounce it, Tasha May. Okay, beautiful name, and thank you for the support. And yes, FIFA is. I hate FIFA because of the lion and sun flag thing, but yet at least they're trolling Islam, which is good. I don't know who put that up though. I don't know if it was FIFA. BT with a super chat saying, wait, the P in PBUH is penetration. Yes, officially we should change that. So this is supposed to be peace be upon him for Muhammad, but we could say penetration be upon him. Great idea, BT. So
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Muhammad, penetration be upon him, and it's according to Islam as well. The Jew hater with a super chat saying, "LOL." Lot had sex with his own 2 daughters. Look at this. He's not even Wow, guys, you know how what I'm saying about Islam and the Quranic verses is true, because he's not even pushing back against what I'm saying. So he's just doing whataboutism. This is how you know every single Quranic verse that I showed you that shows Muhammad was a child rapist, and Quran teaches you to beat your wife and to have sex slaves and to have sex with children before puberty. Every single one of them is true, because Jew hater who defends Islam, and also the fact that hadith, Islamic hadith scripture tells you that Muhammad willingly went to a desert to get raped by a whole bunch of black, tall black men. All of this is true because this Muslim is not even pushing back on that, because he knows everything I'm telling against his religion. All of it is true. So instead of pushing back against it because he knows that he can't, he just does whataboutism. And he says Lot had sex with his own 2 daughters because he was drunk. That is literally in the Bible disgusting.
I don't think that's correct. I think he's mixing up a couple of stories there. Also, Lot. I think Lot was Abraham's brother. He's not really like a prophet.
So Lot in Islam, Lot is a prophet. In the Bible, Lot is respected as a good man, but it's not mentioned as a prophet. However, Lot did not have sex with his own daughter. The story is that the daughters had sex with the father. The daughters raped the father by a monkey. Your microphone is up. I'm hearing myself. The story is that the daughters did the wrong thing, not Lot. Lot was abused by his daughters. They made him drunk and then took advantage of him. So you got the story around. Lot didn't do anything. The daughters raped the father. The father didn't have sex with his daughters. Like he didn't rape them, or he didn't. He was taken advantage of. So see, guys, I'm an atheist and I know the story. Okay, I read the Bible 3 times, so I remember that part. It was a long time ago, but I remember it.
It's a good book. I mean, if you compare like rhetorically the organization and the structure of the Bible and the Quran, I think if you have to, like, just calling it a book, you don't have to believe it. Which would you rather read? Like, say, gun to your head, you got to read one of these 2 books. Oh, I'm going to read this one, right? Like the Quran, I've heard from many people, when you try to read it, it's kind of retarded. Like the order is all wrong. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, I don't know. You tell me. I haven't read the Quran, but like, if you're just reading a book, which one would you rather read? Which one's a better story?
Well, I think the Quran is more retarded, and I enjoy reading. Like, I kind of like to study viruses, and I think Islam is like tumors, like cancer tumors, and I consider Islam to be a more dangerous cancer. So I actually prefer spending my time, like I enjoy studying Islam more, but because I think it's like a cancerous tumor that I want to study. You know what I mean? I study Christianity and Judaism, but none of it as much as I've studied Islam. And I'm more interested in Islam because I think it's more dangerous.
No, but that's a different thing. I'm talking about like story structure. If you're talking about, hey, this is the story, who makes a better story? Which is a better like structure? Like you're reading, hey, this happened and then this happened and then this happened.
Yeah, I mean the Quran is so I don't like the Quran as a storybook because it's really boring as a storybook. Let me mute you because I'm hearing myself. Can you? Oh, there you go. Because I don't like the Quran as a storybook. I like the story of how the verses came into being. That is like the evolution of the Quran and what it was, the story behind it. But the Quran itself as a storybook is very fucking boring and it's repetitive. And if you read like what Allah is talking about, he looks like he has he gets distracted, like he's in the middle of saying something and all of a sudden he jumps to saying something else. Like, hey, can you finish one thought? He has like ADHD or something before you, and then I think he forgets. He keeps like
rambling.
He's like before he finishes a thought, he jumps to something else, and he forgets that he was saying something else, and he just keeps. He looks like he has ADHD. I think, I don't know, but I think it's the net. But then when you realize why it's like that, it's because it was evolving in a very short amount of time, and it's basically multiple different texts stitched together. So when you're reading it as a storybook, it's like, this is fucking insane and boring. But when you read about how it came to be, that's interesting. Like the evolution of it, of how it was created. You know what I mean?
Do you know about the Battle of Yo Mama? They lost a lot of the books in the Battle of Yo Mama. They were fighting over Yo Mama, the Islamists on various sides of Yo Mama. Not Yo Mama, like Muhammad's mama, and like the people of Islam were at the Battle of Yo Mama. Not like this is. I'm literally telling you that. Armin, am I correct? The battle. Have you heard about this? And these were people fighting about who was going to take over Islam. This was after I think this was after the death of Muhammad. So there was some people that wanted to preserve the Quran, and there's this guy that wanted, no, I want all the versions you have. And I know that the thing there was that they lost a lot of the people that were the oral reciters of the Quran. It says, we're going to have to write this down because we just lost a whole bunch of people. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, so I know there was a battle that a lot of the parts of the Quran was lost because of it. I mean, you could call it the Battle of Yamama. The battles I know is Badr, Uhud, and Khandak, or Trench. Those are the battles I know of. But which one are you calling the Battle of Yamama? Uhud? Anyways, okay, we need to.
I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat. Is Wikipedia Battle of Yamama, and it goes over all the Quran that was lost. This is in the Wikipedia. It's not really reliable Wikipedia. We know that, but I got this from David Wood, an apostate prophet, and they were just making fun of all the Islamists. That's just who I learned it from. And this is like I was like more speaking to you, Jew hater, in the Battle of Yamama. You lost a lot of your text. That's why your book doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't really make any sense because, as Jeffrey likes to say, you lost a lot in the Battle of Yamama.
You're just pronouncing it weird.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yamame. Okay. Nabad Yamame. Okay. Anyways, let's go. I mean, maybe I'm actually pronouncing it weird as well because that's the Persian pronunciation, not the Arabic one. Anyways, we should do the super chat so we could go to President Trump. Look at this Texas trucker Jeff with an awesome profile picture saying, "Dude is the worst friend ever. Come home after a crazy night and your buddy tells all of his story." LOL. Wait, we're talking about the Muhammad story getting pounded by a whole bunch of black tall man. Is that what this is reference to? Yeah, right. I think that's what you're. Yeah, Muhammad. Yeah, too much information by Muhammad. Justin with a super chat saying, "This is the best Liberty Politics live stream ever." You're like, oh my god! See, guys, this is the utility of Jew hater. It makes it more fun. Thank you, Justin. And then wait, I forgot. Okay, she told me. Let me see. Hold on. Don't tell me. She told me. I'm gonna screenshot this so I could remember it. Tasha May. Okay, Tasha May. Tasha May saying Jew haters, butthole, I think you mean, is a wide valley in Mecca. Okay. Oh
yes.
my god, core Jew. Yes, exactly. And Gingo with a super chat saying, "I missed the Atheist Republic live stream with Susie." Oh, thank you, Gingo. You're an OG here. Thank you so much. I miss them. I miss those too. And BT June with the super chat saying, "Requesting Quran study on a more regular basis." Yes, maybe we'll do that. Hey, a Christian and an atheist do a Quran study together. And then Jew hater with the desperation here giving us super chats because I think he's so frustrated that we're embarrassing his religion, and he's trying to figure out what do I write on this keyboard to make these people angry and humiliate them. But it doesn't work. He keeps coming back. He's not giving up. He's saying bro's entire existence is on David Wood and AP, two heretics who don't even know their own faith. I literally showed you the hadith, you fucking idiot. Like, my source was your religion. Stop blaming other people. My source is the Quran and the hadith. Don't blame other people. See, you do see, guys, you do see he has no defense for what you're saying. Like, he didn't even once said that, no, there wasn't this story that a whole bunch of dark black men pounded my prophet all night in the middle of a desert. Is not true. You're like, your source is David Wood and AP. No, our source and their source is your fucking retarded, disgusting religion. And
can I also reply to that? Like, yes. When I spoke about this, I quoted Raymond Ibrahim, who is a scholar, and I posted his video. I didn't talk about David Wood or AP. Also, when I'm quoting this, I quoted, Wikipedia, who says, however, about 360 Hufas, Muslims who memorize the Quran, died at Yamama. So Yamama killed many people, Jew hater. Yamama is, just a plague upon the Quran.
Yeah, and look at this. I think Jew hater just left Islam. Because Judah is saying, I'm not sure if you guys watch TikTok debates, but these low IQ David Wood arguments aren't even used by the smart Christians. They're not low tier. They're Judah, I read the Quran to you. I read the Hadith, Islamic Hadith to you. I wasn't reading David Wood. I read your own fucking disgusting Quran and you're calling it low IQ? I just recited the Quran and the Hadith to you. You're calling the actual word by word quotations from the Quran and Hadith low IQ? You know that's punishable by death in your own religion, right?
He's an apostate,
He's an
basically.
apostate now. Wow.
Well, David Wood mentioned it, but I'm quoting Wikipedia. It says it right here. I mean, Wikipedia could be wrong, but I don't think you're gonna. Are you gonna deny your mama? Is he denying your mama?
I quoted the Quran. I didn't. None of us quoted David Wood. None of us quoted Apostle Prophet. Both of us, we're quoting the Quran and the Hadith. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing for you, Jew hater.
I think he's the one that has obsession with David Wood and AP. I think it's him.
Right. Yeah, I know. We weren't talking about him. He's like, I think they I think they penetrated him. I think Jew hater has been penetrated by David Wood and Apostle Prophet because he's bringing them up more than we are.
Alhamdulillah.
And Jew hater, another super chat saying Raymond Ibrahim is a scholar. LOL. I think he's losing his mind. Okay, he's lost, guys. We lost him. And then we have Hamid with a super chat. Thank you so much, Hamid, saying I don't know how anyone could trust a guy who went into a cave. No one knows what drugs he was taking, and then came out of the cave and said he was a prophet and spoke to an angel. There must have been some very strange drugs at the time. I don't know. Maybe he was penetrated in the cave as well. I think if you're penetrated all night by a whole bunch of dark, tall black men, you might come out of the cave and say all sorts of things. So maybe that wasn't his first time.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Praise be to Allah. And Nail Bunny with a super chat. Thank you so much, Nail Bunny, saying for all time's sake, Armin, tell Jew hater to get zooted. Yes, we should bring that back. Get zooted, Jew hater. That's a good one. Okay. Anyways, we should go back to President Trump. Let's see what he has to say here. We moved. Oh my, that was fun. That was a fun segue. Okay. All right. So let's go back to what's happening with Iran and President Trump. Okay.
But now you have a president that fights for the American farmer, and after years of getting ripped off by other countries on trade, we've reduced the agricultural trade deficit just this year by 42%, opening markets to the American exports, and all over the world we're opening up markets for the farmers. We have another one, a new market coming up, and that's called the lovely country of Iran. It's a beautiful place. Would anybody like to go there? The Islamic Republic of Iran, they're having a hard time with food, and we're going to be taking some of their money and we'll spend it, and we're going to be buying wheat, soybeans, and corn, a lot of it. And that process is going to be starting pretty soon. It's going to be pretty big, too. I think it's going to be very big. We have an expanded market area in Europe, and the dairy market, as you know, in Europe, we've opened it up because they had it closed. In Asia, South America, Australia is now allowing U.S. beef into its market for the first time in more than 25 years. And China is committed to purchase at least $17 billion in U.S. agricultural products, in particular soybeans.
Okay, I think the Iran part is over. Let's go to this one. So let me see. Is this Iran related? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to see what you think about this. No, this is not it. Oh, this one. Let's go to this one. I thought I thought this is going to talk about the money that the Pete Hegseth wants for the war with the Islamic Republic. But okay, this is Senator Pocahontas. Is that her name? Oh no, Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, yes.
Pocahontas. Okay, so U.S. senators from both sides of the aisle oppose any proposal that would send funds directly to Tehran. when asked by Iran International's Marzi Hosseini on Thursday, amid peace talk on negotiations between Washington and Tehran, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren called it a terrible mistake, where Republican Senator Tim, how do you pronounce his name? What is it? I don't know who this is. Said, I don't want to send them any money, but added that structural controls such as a U.S. controlled escrow account would be necessary. Isn't that what they're already doing? Warren also said that there was no clear justification for the U.S. war on Iran, pointing to conflicting accounts from officials throughout the conflict. So Donald Trump. So let's actually listen to her.
Every time we hear one report out of Iran, an hour later we hear something different. So it's the same kind of chaos that was on the front end when no one could ever explain why we were dropping bombs in Iran. The answers changed by the hour sometimes.
Wait, wasn't
That's a
the
lie.
answer wasn't the answer all the time? It was about the nuclear bombs for the, like,
Yeah, there's a clear and present danger of nuclear armament. They could, with what they had, they could make a dirty bomb. They do have the ability to make cluster munitions. They demonstrated that. They did have the ability to reach Diego Garcia or Europe. They demonstrated that. It was plainly demonstrated that the clear and present danger was real. So she's lying about that.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing you can't say about President Trump. They were very consistent on this, like very consistent about what this is about. Which is weird. Okay, let's continue.
By the minute, sometimes different officials were giving different answers. And now we're in the same position on trying to get out of this mess. It is important that this war end, but Donald Trump needs to be held accountable for what he has done.
And Senator, on Iran, what do you think about sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Iranian regime by President Trump?
I think that's a terrible mistake.
I've said repeatedly, I don't want to send him any money. If we're going to allow to have any sort of recognition of revenue, whether that's unfrozen assets or oil revenue, there has to be structural controls from us in place, i.e. an escrow, where we're controlling that money, where it's going and what it's buying. In no scenario do I think it's a good idea we hand them any amount of money, because they're going to use it to buy bullets, bombs, and kill Americans.
Okay, what do you say? What do you say to that?
Well, there should be accountability for all the fraud she did during her education when she claimed to be a Native American so she could access scholarships. I mean, you know, that just start off there. Number two, I agree that anything that is done should be done with frozen IRGC assets. And I'm just guessing here. If we used those assets to make sure America stays on the side of Iran, because we're not using America money, the voters stay on the side of Iran, we get through the midterms, and then we are able to do what we need to do to crush what remains of the regime, that would be a preferable outcome. Just the use of these funds from the American taxpayer is something. The problem is I don't know exactly how much they have frozen from the IRGC, but I believe it's a large amount. So I don't see why these funds would have to be used. I would just do the same thing I do with the farm subsidy, just use the IRGC funds.
Listen, look at this. This person is saying, yes, thank goodness for the sanity of this man. I think this guy is Iranian. I don't know. Do you still believe in Iran's? Okay, let's listen to Rubio here. I think a lot of people think that this is in contradiction to what President Trump says, and they're saying that Marco Rubio is right and President Trump is wrong. So let's listen to this and let me know what you think about this.
You used to call them religious theocratic lunatics. Do you still believe that language applies to the leadership today?
Well, look, it's not that I believe it, it's the fact of the matter. I mean, the Iranian system is led by clerics, radical clerics. That's what it's always been led by, and that's what it continues to be led by. That said, we also have to manage the geopolitics of the situation. And then there's if they've changed their mindset, or if they've changed their approach to their relations with the United States and their neighbors, then we're going to give this thing a chance to work. Maybe this changed. I'm not saying it has. I'm saying the president wants to explore whether that's the case. And if it has, we're going to find out. But we're not going to find out because of what they say. We're going to find out because of what they do.
You used to call them
So people are saying, yeah, yes, Marco Rubio is right. President Trump is wrong. President Trump is saying that these new people are reasonable, but Marco Rubio says that they're all a bunch of religious lunatics. So what do you think?
I think he's trying to make a deal. I think this is the same thing that happened when he was trying to get Zelensky and Putin in a room, and they hate each other and they talk crap about each other. And Zelensky is like, look, Trump is like, look, I can't. If I want you to sit down with this guy, I can't trash talk him. That's not going to be conductive to a deal. If he trash talks me, I mean trash talk him back. But if I want to make a deal, I'm not going to start trash talking them. So I think that's part of getting the it's part of the deal in politicking side. But Marco Rubio, because he's functioning in a different way, he doesn't have to politic as much, but he's still saying within that framework, let's see if there is a change. We're not going to care what they say. We're going to watch what they do. So, and this seems, I don't know if this is recent or earlier, because I seem to have heard these exact words from him before. He may just be saying something he had said that before, but I feel like I almost feel like I've seen this clip before, and not like 2 days or 3 days ago, like a month ago. So I don't know if this is exactly recent. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Let me go to this next clip that I have, because a lot of people are saying Mark Levin is not happy with President Trump. Let's see what Mark Levin is saying here.
My view is really quite simple. Regardless of who's president or prime minister, the Iranian regime needs to be destroyed.
So that was it. That was pretty short. I think, like, I don't know. I think you're following what Mark Levin is posting these days. He seems to be annoyed with the way the White House is moving based on his recent posts and videos. And he thinks that they should go a lot more, that they are basically capitulating to the regime. What do you think?
I don't think they're capitulating to the regime. I believe this is what I believe. I believe the IRGC is going to keep fucking around and they're going to find out. I think Trump is like giving them a little leeway. I think we're trying to get those funds dispersed. I don't think we should I am completely against using American taxpayer money to have any escrow account, to do any dispersal, to do any of that. That should be done with IRGC funds because, well, the people aren't going to get it. If the only people that can hold on to this is either the IRGC or America, better that America uses them, because the IRGC is not going to give it to the people. Right? So let's us use it for this escrow or whatever they're going to do with these funds. That should come from the IRGC. That should not come from the American taxpayer, just simply for the, like, you know, it may be like 2 or 3 leering centers worth, right? It may not be like a huge, like 11 billion in American economy is not that much. That's not the 300 million. They were talking about a million. I think I heard 11 billion was the number they were floating around. That should be taken from the IRGC because the Iranians aren't going to get it. So it might as well be used to control them.
By the way, Monkey, your audio doesn't have any background noise anymore. So I don't know what you did, but
I'm melting. I'm literally melting. My fur is all wet. I'm a wet monkey.
And also, okay. So let's finish this. Okay, let me go through this fast then. Okay, so we have this one. Look at this on state TV within the Islamic Republic. They're admitting that they're using the negotiations as a tool to gain time and resources. Let's actually play this. So they're admitting it on state TV that this is that they're not going to abide by any of these agreements here.
شما تو این جعبه ابزارتون موشک دارید؟
Oh, the translation is at the bottom.
شما تو این جعبه ابزارتون موشک دارید؟ پهپاد دارید؟
Let me remove the banner so you guys could read it properly. Now we'll go back.
شما تو این جعبه ابزارتون موشک دارید؟ پهپاد دارید؟ قدرت اطلاعاتی و امنیتی دارید؟ مقاومت دارید؟ متحدینتون رو دارید؟ مذاکره هم دارید. اگه اینجوری به موضوع نگاه کنید اصلا مشکلی پیش نخواهد اومد. شما در لحظه‌ای که دارید فقط نباید فراموش کنید که در حال جنگید. آقای قالیباف همیشه میگه مذاکره ابزار مبارزه است. دشمن تحقیر شده، دشمن شکست خورده، آقای شهید فتح میشه ازش امتیاز گرفت. بعداً به تعهدش عمل میکنه؟ نه. ولی مهم اینه که شما یه جوری همون لحظه اول یه امتیازی بگیرید که از فردا اگه کل میز مذاکره هم به هم خورد شما اون چیزی که لحظه اول به دست آوردید دیگه نگهش دارید. نقد یه چیزی اولش میگیریم و میدونیم بعدش به نظر من، نظر شخصی من اینه که بعدش هم به هم بخوره. خب بخوره. مهم اینه که ما
Wow, did you hear that part? He's saying like we'll get something from the Americans and then the whole deal will break apart. It doesn't matter. We got what we wanted from the Americans after the deal breaks apart.
تو اون لحظه اول
He's saying cash. We will receive something meaningful like cash, like tangible, something tangible from the Americans, and then the whole thing will break apart anyways. But we already got what we wanted.
I have a question. Does he work in the government?
I don't know.
Because it could just be someone talking shit. I don't know if he's a government employee and he has power. That's concerning.
This is state TV. This is Islamic Republic State TV. So everything that is on state TV is officially approved by the regime.
Okay, but you understand that it's not. It's not the same if it's not the same if a congressman says it than if C-SPAN says it. You understand what I mean?
Right. I mean, the Congress people are also not that powerful, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but what he's trying to do is trying to appease the anti-negotiation, pro-regime people, the anti-deal people. He's trying to be like, guys, don't worry. We're not going to actually capitulate to the Americans.
Can I ask you something about that? You were speaking earlier, and I was watching your earlier program with Kabe, I think was the name of the person. It's a great show. I noticed that you guys were talking that they were arguing about the constitutionality. I think that's very interesting because the more arguments that there are about the constitutionality, and the more that they keep breaking deals, the easier it becomes to declare them a government that is not capable of making a deal and having a government in exile. The more that this keeps happening, the more that we could say, you know what, we're just going to take the funds that we were going to give you, we're going to put them in an escrow. I mean, that could be what the escrow is all about. We could just say, oh, you know what? Yeah, we are going to make the escrow, but you're not getting it. Pahlavi's getting it. Or someone else. Rubio is going to get it. Rubio is going to be the Grand Vizier of the future Shah. He's going to be the 10th Ayatollah. It's going to be a Rubio-tola. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't see that happening, but that would be interesting. For sure.
I'll put it like at 10% right now.
Okay. All right, let's play the rest of this and then go to the next video.
اول یه چیز اساسی از اینا بگیریم. من گفتم اینو قبلا آشکارا. ما نیاز به وقت و نیاز به منابع داریم. ما در جنگیم و از مذاکره به عنوان یک ابزار استفاده می‌کنیم برای کسب وقت و کسب منابع. هیچ سوء تفاهمی ما درباره صلح با آمریکا نداریم.
Okay, so he's saying like, yeah, we know the Americans are bad. We're not going to capitulate to them. Basically, we're just using negotiations as a tool to get what we want from them, and then we're going to go back to war and stuff like that. So don't worry about it. That's what he's saying. He's just trying to, it's just a bunch of jihadi, anti-negotiations, pro-regime people. He's just trying to basically, they're butthurt over all of this, and this is a way just to shut them up. That's what he's doing, in my opinion. Anyways,
I agree.
Yeah, that's what is happening. Oh, we got a super chat. Selectivist saying Battle of Yamama on the night of Al-Zut. Yes. Okay. My God.
I think that was for Jew hater. Hey, there was a battle of Al-Zut for your mama, Mr. Jew hater. Your mama getting battled by the Al-Zut.
Oh my god. Okay. Let me put the banner back on. Okay, let's put this. Okay, cool. Let's see what JD Vance has to say. Oh my god, this is going to be bad, isn't it?
And one of the things I've seen with the President of the United States in the last few weeks, and frankly, some of the criticism that we've gotten even from our friends, is they're constantly trying to change the mission that Donald Trump set us up to achieve. And what did he say? He said at the outset, I want to destroy their conventional military. I want to eliminate their ability to project power. And I want to ensure that they never have a nuclear weapon ever, okay? And what I've seen is some people try to...
The only way to make sure the Islamic Republic will never have nuclear power is to end the Islamic Republic. There's literally no other way. There is literally no other way. So if you want the Islamic Republic never getting nuclear weapons, then your strategy should be regime change. Do you guys agree with that?
I agree, but he has to sell a 60-day ceasefire MOU. Like he has a job as a politician. He has to sell this MOU as being something like we should tolerate. It's a 60-day ceasefire MOU, but he's like trying to put it out there as his job politically to pass it.
Yeah,
I agree with you, though. I agree that reality is what you're talking.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear.
Say, you know what, well, that's great, but you should have a different objective. And I think the reason why the president has been so successful is because he refuses to give in to that impulse. He says...
No, you know, I think he's saying the impulse is that other people want more aggression. That's what he's saying. But the thing is, you need more aggression. Even with that objective, you need more aggression. You're not going to get your objective with this level of aggression that you have right now.
We came what we set out to do. We created incredible diplomatic, economic, and military leverage. Let's use that leverage to go and accomplish an even bigger win for the American people. That's what he's asked us to do. It's not over yet, but so far, so good.
Yeah. Again, he's basically trying to sell a strategy of not doing more kinetic military operations or supporting a regime change policy, which again, I think that's what you need. Even with that objective in mind, that's what you need. That's what you need. Anyways, let's
meaning what you need is the elimination of the IRGC. That's what you need.
Exactly. That's what you need. That's what you need. Yeah. And okay, let's go to BB. Is he speaking English here?
These are the people.
Is this recent? Because it was posted recently. Is this recent? Guys, is this recent? Let me see. Benjamin Netanyahu. No, this is old. Like, this hasn't happened. Yeah, obviously this is old. But this is a reminder. Yeah, this is the UN. This is not recent. What the fuck? Why are you posting it now? But let me actually, maybe it's a reminder of what he stood for.
Christians. But since the PA took control, that number has dwindled to under 20%. These are the people you want to give a state to? What you're doing is giving the ultimate reward to intolerant fanatics who perpetrated and supported the October 7th massacre. Giving the Palestinians a state 1 mile from Jerusalem after October 7th is like giving Al-Qaeda a state 1 mile from New York City after September 11th. This is sheer madness. Christians.
You know, this is about, I 100% agree with that, by the way. But it's also is relevant to what's happening with the Islamic Republic right now. Because if right now with the Islamic Republic, if you reward them with anything, any form of cash, any form of, their ability to rebuild, that's basically the same thing. It's sheer madness. Because the Islamic Republic is going to think like, okay, then that means I have the ability to withstand, to tolerate the attacks by superpowers. And then I will be given the opportunity to use my all money to recover and without any toppling, right? So this would be the same reward. We shouldn't be rewarding terrorists, right? And, that's what I think. I don't know why this is going viral right now. I mean, but because this is old, but I think it is relevant to what we're doing with the Islamic Republic, what we might be doing with the Islamic Republic.
I wish I could talk to Guy right now. I wonder if his polls are going up since all this mess.
I think it's going down. BB's polls are going down in Israel. I might be wrong about that.
Or down.
Yeah. Yeah, BB's right. People are You know, people in the chat are saying. By the way, people are watching from your channel. You know that, right? Did you know? Like, look at this. People are watching from your side.
I would like to tell everyone that is watching on my channel. First of all, thank you very much. And if I am not able I'm seeing you when the chat unites. But if I'm not replying to you on my side, it's because, when we're streaming, it's basically like juggling. We're watching a lot of stuff at the same time. So try to be patient with me. And thank you very much for being there, for watching. Watch hours are very important when you're starting a channel. And I really, really do appreciate those of you who wander over here and give me a little bit of your time.
All right, guys, I'm going to put Grease Monkey's channel in the chat again. Oh my God, you're 6 away from your first 100 subscribers. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You're growing your channel. Look at the guys. We're 10% of the way there. So if we do this 10 more times, we're gonna get to a first 1,000 subscribers, and we could monetize the channel. And
Inshallah, every inch. Inshallah.
Inshallah. That's a good. Oh my God. But
It's fine.
yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So don't worry. I'm gonna find a way for you to eventually manage the, basically be able to highlight people in the chat, be able to, respond to both sides and everything. Okay, so
I'm a quick study, and you're a good mentor, so I'm sure we'll work something out where I'll learn all this stuff.
No, don't worry. I'll make you an admin on StreamYard so that when you go live, you could highlight the comments and do everything. Okay. So, but just give me, I'll figure that out soon. Okay. By the way, guys, let me know in the chat. Would you like a new segment on liberty politics after the segment that I have with Ali, with Grease Monkey by himself, talking about American politics in relationship to whatever is the main topic right now? So after the segment that I have with Ali, then Grease Monkey will have his own segment without me over there. And then he will basically talk about like the midterms and its relationship to, the current situation in Iran and many other things. If Israel becomes relevant here, it becomes a big deal again. I mean, Israel is always a big deal, but if it becomes like the major news, they will focus on U.S. politics in relationship to Israel.
We could take topics from the chat. I could take suggestions from the chat, look into the stuff that the chat is telling me, bring stuff to the chat I would always have some topics that I'm looking at as far as, election topics, especially, but international news that is hot in America, because not all international news that pertains to America is, hot, very much in the interest of the Americans. So I would try to highlight that. And that's pretty much what I would do if you guys would like that.
Yeah. So my segment and Ali's segment was focused on Iran. Guy's segment, which is before, eventually, a guy is busy right now, but when he comes back, he's going to have more segments. His segment is focused on Israel, and Grease Monkey's segment will be focusing on United States, right? And American politics. Oh, look at this. He would love to talk American politics from a Southern perspective with you, Monkey. There you go. Okay, so
I am basically a Latino and a Florida man.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, let's go to this. So this is, look at it. Emily Schrader put a caption here. I haven't watched this video, but the caption got my attention. Meet Islamic propagandist and left-wing activist Tucker Carlson. So let's see what this is about.
Are delusional for a bunch of different reasons. I don't think that's an Israeli-specific phenomenon. We felt a little bit of that after 9/11, when people bought the lies about there were many lies about 9/11, but the net result was to convince Americans that they were under siege from global Islam, that there were 1 billion people trying to kill them. I felt this way myself. And many times I said on television, the problem is Islam, the problem is Muslims. Like, they all want to kill us. They're all crazy. They're all in this lunatic suicide cult created by Muhammad.
Oh my God.
In the 7th century. And I believe that. I was hysterical. I believed that. No, that's not true. Nothing about that is true. But I believed it. So it's a little harder for me to judge Israelis when they're like, every Arab, Christian or Muslim, it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews, and we must kill them before they kill us. Like, they believe that. Or
No, they fucking don't. What the fuck are you talking about? Israel is 20% Arab, you fucking idiot. Israel is 20% Arab, and they treat their Arab citizens equally with a lot of respect and love. Oh my God, what is this bullshit lie about Israel? Arabs in Israel have more rights and freedoms than Arabs in Arab countries. Muslims in Israel have more rights and freedoms than Muslims in Muslim countries. Guys, the Supreme Court in Israel has Arab judges that have sentenced 2 Jewish Israeli prime ministers to prison sentence. Let me repeat that again. Israel's Supreme Court has Arab judges that has sentenced a Jewish prime minister to prison sentence in Israel. Israeli universities is filled with Arabs. Doctors in Israel are relative to the percentage of the population are more Arab. Some of the best jobs in Israel. In fact, Arabs in Israel have more rights than Jews. Arabs in Israel, Jews have to, both men and women Jews in Israel, unless you're ultra-Orthodox, the vast majority of Jews have mandatory military service. The Arabs don't have mandatory military service. So they have more freedom. Arabs in Israel have more freedoms than Israelis. And what is with this fucking straw man at the beginning? They told us all Muslims. Let me play this again. This is a fucking straw man.
Are delusional for a bunch of different reasons. I don't think that's an Israeli specific phenomenon. We felt a little bit of that after 9/11 when.
Okay, so he starts with an ad hominem. They're delusional.
Yeah. And now he's doing a straw man. Now he does a straw man here.
And people bought the lies about there were many lies about 9/11, but the net result was
lies about 9/11. I think he's suggesting that the Jews did 9/11. I think he's not going to say it, but I think lies about 9/11. I think he's saying the Jews did it, but not saying it.
11, but the net result was to convince Americans that they were under siege from global Islam, that there were a billion people trying to kill them. I felt this way myself. And many times I said on television, the problem is Islam. The problem is Muslims. Like, they all want to kill us. They're all crazy. They're all.
Okay, that's your fucking problem. If you said all Muslims want to kill us, if you do a mass generalization, I mean, the problem is Islam. Okay, the problem is Islam. I mean, fuck Islam. Okay, but not all Muslims want to kill us. Most Muslims don't follow Islam. So if you thought all Muslims, guys, there's 2 billion Muslims. Okay, if 1% of them want to kill us, that is a fucking lot of people that want to kill us. So no, not all Muslims want to kill us. Okay, not all Muslims are a threat, but a small percentage of Muslims wanting to end civilization as it is, that is a fucking big problem. So that's your belief that all of them, that was your, but if you were retarded, don't try to act like the rest of the people. Like, that was your problem, being retarded, right? But then the rest,
lunatic suicide cult created by Muhammad.
There's also, I want to point out something. When there is a rhetorical manipulation, when you say I did this too, and you make an extraordinary claim, because there is a possibility that he didn't do it exactly like that. He's exaggerating, but by tying himself to it, giving it more credence. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, I used to do this and this and that. And he's like, no, trust me, because I know about this stuff. You know, everybody was doing this. I was doing it to everybody. Like, it's giving credence to the idea that everybody was saying that it's these people, these billion people, all of them want to kill us, and we should like just hate them. You understand what I'm saying? That he's kind of including himself. This is they call this like NLP, neuro linguistic programming, where you kind of like include yourself. There's lots of aspects of it, but he is using a lot of rhetorical tricks.
I see what you're saying. Okay, let's continue.
It's like they all want to kill us. They're all crazy. They're all in this lunatic suicide cult created by Muhammad in the 7th century. And I believe that. I was hysterical. I believed that. No, that's not true. Nothing about that is true. But I believed it. So it's a little harder for me to judge Israelis.
Did you notice that other trick?
every Arab-
He first made a wide generalization and then said none of it is true. But it is true that there are sects of jihad. I mean, we've seen the suicide vest. He can't say none of it is true. That's ridiculous. You see how first he puts himself in the middle of this alleged lie that everyone was saying, right? And then he calls all the aspects of it a lie. Therefore, like, you understand? Do you see the rhetorical tricks that he's playing? People say he's stupid. He's not stupid. He's evil. There's a big difference. You understand what I'm saying? He's using a very specific trick to claim that none of this is true. Are you kidding me? You think we've never seen a suicide vest? What do you mean that there's not some suicidal part of Islam? What do you mean none of it is true? It's ridiculous on its face, but because he's couching it in what I was one of them too, and then he slips in, none of this is true. He just got that like rhetorically past your blog, if you're not very familiar, into believing a whole lot of things without analyzing exactly what he's saying. This guy he's not stupid. He's evil.
Yeah. But this part is the most outrageous part. This last
for me to judge Israelis when they're like every.
So he's another rhetorical trick. He's accusing Jews of being evil and deceiving, but he's trying to soften it by saying, well, I also believe that. I was also retarded one day, but now I am better. But I can't judge these Jews for doing this because I was also once misguided. So he's basically acting like a whole nation of Israel is misguided, but he's trying to reduce the criticism on himself saying that by saying, well, I used to also be this bad. That's his trick over here. But look at this. He's accusing them without actually trying to, he's trying to make it less taboo to do so.
It's true. But I believed it. So it's a little harder for me to judge Israelis when they're like every Arab, Christian or Muslim, it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews and we must kill them before they kill us. Like they believe that.
What Israelis believe that? What the fuck are you talking about? I've been to Israel. The Israelis don't believe that. The Israelis don't believe. Look at the poll numbers on their views on Arabs. They don't believe that.
I want you to notice something else. Look at the byline at the bottom. U.S. That says U.S. complicit in genocide. If you look at the one it had before, U.S. and Israel denied genocide in Gaza. That is another lie because it wasn't just the U.S. and Israel. The experts on genocide said, you know what? We looked at it and it looks like it wasn't a genocide. Their population actually went up. So your population doesn't go up during a genocide. So there's a lot of tricks that are going on in the background. You see that? You notice that? That's another thing that there's a lot of stuff going on. This guy's he's not stupid. He's evil.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this about what he said over here one more time.
Christian or Muslim, it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews and we must kill them before they kill us. Like they believe that.
Guys, I went to Israel. Okay, in Israel, for example, because he's making a general claim about Israel, I think an anecdote in response to a general claim works, right? So if you're trying to prove something, making a claim yourself, anecdote doesn't work. But if somebody makes a general claim, you just need examples to show that their general claim is bullshit, and in that case, anecdotes work. When I went to Tel Aviv, there's a sweet shop in Tel Aviv that is run by these Muslim Arabs, right? And you can see there's Jews line up a couple of blocks just waiting to get their hands on these sweets. Like it's a very popular shop. on this line. If you look at this line, there's Jews, there are Arabs, and nobody fucking gives a shit. Everybody's there for sweets. You know, when I went to Jerusalem, when in Sabbath, every restaurant is closed, and we almost died from starvation because we couldn't find food. And we were begging people to show us where food is, and they're like, "Where? Like the food is in the next city, because everything in Jerusalem closed on Sabbath." And like, why is it in the next city? Like, because it's an Arab city and everything there is open. So all the Jews, all the more secular-minded Jews in Jerusalem, they just go to this Arab city, and all the restaurants there are filled with Jewish people because nothing in Jerusalem is open. They can just go to the Arabs to feed them, right? And it's just such a beautiful coexistence between Arab. In fact, they overdo it. They fucking overdo it. One thing I didn't like about Israel is that in Tel Aviv, I saw Sharia courts. Sharia fucking courts funded by taxpayers, by the government. Family courts, Sharia, Islamically run courts funded by the government, by Jewish taxpayers fund Sharia courts. Guys, everywhere in Tel Aviv I go, I heard the azan, the Islamic call to prayer in Tel Aviv. 5 times a day I was hearing the Islamic call to prayer because there's mosques all over Tel Aviv. What are you talking about? This Tucker Carlson, like, you know, this is, you go to Tel Aviv, you went to Tel Aviv, you just stayed in the airport and then left. You didn't go and investigate properly. I went
You didn't notice what he said about Christians, about Arab Christians? You didn't notice that, did you? Did you miss it? Go back and hear what he just said about Arab Christians.
Oh yeah. I remember now. He said like they also think about Arab Christians this way, which they don't. You fucking idiot.
Like Arab Christians, like Israelis think that Arab Christians want to kill them. That's what he's saying. He's trying to cause a divide. Oh my God.
Yeah. So also Amir in the chat is saying I hear him every morning. I think he's talking about the azan. Yeah. All right. So look at this. People are saying, "Wow, I had no idea." Yeah, now you know. But let me listen to this part again that Monkey's talking about.
It's true, but I believed it. So it's a little harder for me to judge Israelis when they're like, every Arab, Christian or Muslim, it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews, and we must kill them before they kill us. Like, they believe.
Arab Christians are loved in Israel. Arab Druze are loved. Arab Druze are fucking loved in Israel. Druze are Arab. Israelis are pressuring their own government to go save the Druze in Syria. They're Arab. Do you know how many Arabs are in the Israeli military, in the IDF? Druze are Arab, and Israelis attack their own government for not doing more to save the Arab Druze in Syria.
This doesn't work for Americans. What works for Americans is, oh my God, the Israelis are attacking Arab Christians. That's what his goal is. You have to understand his goal, his audience, his manipulation. This guy is not stupid. He's evil.
Do you know how much Jewish Israelis love Arab Druze? They like love them. They don't like them. They fucking love them. Does he not know that?
I don't understand what the Jews believe in too much, but because he is trying to pretend he's like a Christian right winger, what he's trying to cause is a divide between Christians and Jews, and that's what his target. That's why he didn't talk about the Druze, because then that might make the people investigate. But if he just says, "Oh, the Jews hate Arab Christians," you know, because they believe that Arab Christians are going to kill them.
It doesn't matter because he says the Israelis think Arabs like all Arabs are inherently, there's something inherently problematic with them. And you know, Israelis don't care what the Jews believe. They don't care. Like, I don't think they even know. I don't think the Jews know what they believe, to be honest. Okay. But anyway, look at this. Sorry, Jews. It's true. You know, it's true. But
it doesn't matter. Arabs are by definition committed to the extermination of Jews, and
Arabs by definition are committed to the extermination of the Jews. If that's the case, then why do Jewish Israelis love the Arab Jews? Love them. Why is it? No, here's the thing. We have Muslim Muslim Arabs proudly serving in the IDF when they don't have to. We have not Jews, not Arab Muslims, not Christian Muslims, not Jews Muslims. Not Christian Arabs. Sorry, I'm getting this. So not Christian Arabs, not Jews Arabs, Muslim Arabs. Muslim Arabs in the IDF, Muslim Arabs in the IDF, proudly serving in the IDF. There's already a lot of Druze Arabs in the IDF. There's already a lot of Christian Arabs in the IDF, and nobody is surprised by that. Of course, Christian Arabs and Druze Arabs proudly serve in the IDF. But we also have a lot of Muslim Arabs proudly serving in the IDF. We have Muslim Zionist Arabs, a lot of them. I met them face to face. Muslim Zionist Arabs in Israel, and a lot of them proudly serve in the IDF. What is you like? Okay, this is so.
I understand that. You're very passionate about that point. I'm telling you, his point has nothing to do with that. He's trying to separate Christians from Jews. That's his point. That's his target. His target is Americans, and he's trying to get Americans to think Jews hate Christians. That's his target. That's what this is all about. All of this is about that. He wants Jews to fight Christians. This guy is evil. He's evil. I understand that. I agree with all the points you said. They're very good. But like the American audience gets lost in all that. They're going to believe you. Like if they're half intelligent, they can look it up and know that you're correct. But that's going to be lost on them because they're not going to identify with the Druze. They're not going to identify with the Arab Muslim Zionists. They're going to identify with the Christian in that sentence. And that's the target.
Okay. We got a gift basket from Neil Bunny. Thank you, Neil Bunny. 5 membership gifts, a gift basket from Neil Bunny. So 5 people in the chat are now members because of Mrs. Claus, as we like to call her, Neil Bunny. And then we have Bar Mustel. Thank you so much for the super chat saying he's a disgusting, compulsive liar. Yes, I do agree with that. And thank you for the support. Guys, we got to go to our discussion group. Monkey, Grease Monkey will be there. I will be there. I'll put the link in the chat. Oh, today is open. Look at this. Today is open. That means anybody could join. That means it's open to all. So come join our discussion group and find a group call either on the main page, which is here. The link will be, this is the link over here. Or you could check the calendar and find the link over there. It's easier to just find the link of the current group call that we're having on the homepage. So the link is in the chat. The link is in the QR code in the top left corner of your screen. The link is also in the description. The link is also in the bio section of our YouTube channel, because Liberty Politics, if you go over there, you'll find the link right over here. Okay. Also, let me check. Grease Monkey, how many subscribers do you have right now? 116! Guys, look at that. Grease Monkey, we made it past 100 subscribers already, and 23 people are watching you over there. That's fantastic. So, guys,
I want to thank all of you. I want to thank you, Armin, because I mean, we talked. I didn't think I didn't think anybody would care. Anybody would want to subscribe. But you guys are really motivating me. Armin has been a great mentor in all this, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. It really means a lot to me, and just bless you all. And even if you don't believe, take the blessing. It's not going to hurt, right?
Yes. No, and also I thank you for being you. I think like more people need to hear you, Grease Monkey. I think like it's very what you have to say is very valuable. So I don't think I'm doing you a favor. I think you're doing us a favor by being yourself and giving us your opinion. So, and we already made it 10%. We already had only 2 shows, and we're already 10% there. So we're gonna make it to 1,000 faster than most channels. This is great. Okay. Let me put the link in the chat one more time for you guys. So
it's a pleasure to be of service. I always say that. It was a pleasure to be of service the time that I was in the Army, long time ago, in the ancient times. It is a pleasure to be of service now. There's something inside the serviceman that always wants to better the community, better the nation. And if I can do that, boy, I'm a happy camper. It's a joy for me. It's a pleasure to be of service.
Thank you. That's very sweet. All right, guys, we're going to go get ready for our group call. So given that today is open, you could either come into the group call and talk to us, or if you prefer, you're like, no, Armin, I'm comfortable with YouTube. I don't want to go into these other platforms. I don't want to talk to you guys there. You could come and listen to us, in Liberty Politics. The next stream will be live streaming our discussion in the group call. So if you want to just listen to our conversation, we're going to be going live in about 40 minutes. And yeah, so people will come up and say their opinions or ask their questions, and you could listen in. All right. Did you want to add anything else, Grease Monkey, before we end the stream here?
No, everything's good. I really appreciate you. See you there. It's in about a couple of 30 minutes?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. See you guys there. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukraine, Cuba Libre, Long live America, Javid Shah, Payande, Iran. See you guys soon.